Welcome back, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 34 of ELR.
34
a
is crazy.
Beautiful in-person, Brandon's half, 4th of July themed episode. I hope you like our get-ups. We spent like $23 on it. So I would rather do this than talk about the Royals. I don't know about you.
Yeah, this feels more...
4th of July is just the way it's supposed to be. Like, this is just...
How is the 4th of July supposed to be?
What's it doing? It was supposed to be flashing rapidly. Now just like...
No, it's going crazy on my end. I think it's...
Oh, is it?
I think it's the camera. It's not picking it up. Yeah, because it's getting down.
The Discord camera is so pausey right now. It's okay. So, Brandon, happy early 4th of July. One of my favorite holidays in all of America. I don't know what your favorite holiday is, but this one's got to be up there. This has got to be up there. Yeah. Lots of eating, lots of exploding, lots of arson for legal arson. I think, right?
4th of July. 4th of July is a good one because it's like the height of summer.
Is it?
I think so.
Didn't summer technically just start?
Yeah, the 21st. But I mean, when you like think about it from like growing up and being in school, you were out of school for June and July, basically. And
brother, I was homeschooled.
I know you weren't. I mean, I know you were, but I'm saying for me, being public schooled, like 4th of July was kind of like the halfway point of summer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Can't relate. Some years I would get done way early. Some years I would be doing school all year because I just got behind. So, happy 4th of July, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Everybody loves America.
Yeah, 250.
Happy birthday, America.
Well, what's your 4th of July go-to tradition?
Oh, dude. Well, recent years, it's the Tannerite.
Oh, the Tannerite, yeah.
So, if y'all are familiar, there's a thing called Tannerite. It's an exploding target for shooting guns. So, it's this, like, powder mix that you can go buy. We get it from Shields and Bass Pro because it's cheap. My dad just so happened to find, like, 20 pounds of Tannerite at a pawn shop randomly. Which is funny. Imagine the guy that's so down bad he had to pawn his Tannerite. But no, and I think in the coming years, well, we've been getting bigger and bigger. And I don't know if last year we took a break, but we keep getting bigger and bigger. And I'm thinking it needs to start being a thing where...
We did it last year without you.
Everybody needs to chip in our family to get not only fireworks, but also more and more Tannerite. Because I think last year the most single explosion we did was like 8 pounds, which it comes in like 1 pound blocks, I think, or like 2 pound, or not like jars. But dude, it's awesome. You can feel it in your chest. It's super loud. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it seems like recently, like summer, like 4th of July time, like that 1 month, like not 1 month, like week span is when I do the most of my shooting to like get all my guns. I don't have guns. Is that something I can say on the podcast?
Guns.
Yeah.
Guns.
America.
Guns.
Shooting.
Guns.
Guns. That'll be a good soundbite. But yeah, anyway, that's when I do most of my shooting. Make sure all my guns are still in operating condition, which they always have been and always will be because I always shoot guns at targets.
At targets. Thanks for the specification.
What about you? What's your favorite so far 4th of July tradition?
Well, it is either consists of going to my parents' house or your parents' house and then eating food. That is like the big thing for me is good food. Hanging out outside. Yeah. I think I am legally obligated to play cornhole for at least a little bit.
Dude.
I love playing cornhole. Amazing. But yeah, then just obviously, I mean, shooting off fireworks.
Yeah,
like
of course.
That goes without being said. But no, just hanging out with family, just chilling. We don't ever do anything crazy. We just go and yeah.
I was gonna suggest that you and I have a hot dog eating contest today, but like do a segment of Hungry Daddy's Hour for hot dog eating contest, but we all know how that would go.
Well, yeah, if it would have been anything like the Z-Man challenge we did, I definitely would have lost.
Yeah, it wouldn't be close. How many hot dogs do you think you could put away?
In how
If
much?
you're nice and
What
hungry,
amount
like,
of time?
let's say you're going to a 4th of July party and they say we're having hot dogs on the grill, and you're going and you're eating nothing but the dogs and the bun, of course, but the hot dogs, whatever fixings you want, I don't care. But how many hot dogs do you think you could eat in one hungry sitting?
I'm gonna be honest. I've never been somebody that is like can just pack away food like that. So I would probably seriously only be able to get like 3 down before I'm like, okay,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Mm,
So I remember
I guess that's okay.
I'd go to like Pizza Street with Logan,
Yeah.
and we would have pizza eating contests, and he would always destroy me. But he didn't eat the crust. So
That is such cheating.
Is that cheating? Let us
Logan,
know.
You're not eating the crust. That's part of the pizza. You have to eat the crust.
Yeah.
If you need a little bit of Mountain Dew to wash it down at Pizza Street, that's what you got to do. You got to eat the crust.
Yeah.
Any respectable competition, like food eating competition, you have to eat the whole thing. You can't just, like, imagine if they had the hot dog eating contest, you look over and half of the bun is just sitting on Joey Chestnut's plate. He's like, I don't eat the crust.
Joey Chestnut.
Can you cut the crust off of my hot dog buns?
Joey Chestnut with his ankle bracelet that he's probably going to have on this time.
Ankle monitor.
Ankle monitor.
You keep calling it ankle bracelet.
Is by definition it is a bracelet. Yeah?
No, I would call it a bracelet.
What's a bracelet?
I would call a bracelet some kind of fashionable, accessory. Like, it could be made out of beads and string, or it could be made out of pure gold, but like it's kind of usually a fashion thing, whereas that's like a big strap. I wouldn't call it a bracelet. Are you saying that you think a ankle monitor is a bracelet or anklet?
I mean, it's the same
concept
of
like
a bracelet.
Like you're wearing.
Yeah. Dude, if I'm going to be on house arrest, or if I'm going to have that, I'm going to look good, okay? I'm going to bedazzle that thing.
Well, if I'm like decked out in like some like gothic crazy getup, and if you're wearing like the big huge leather clasps, they would probably call that a bracelet.
Yeah.
So maybe I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting into it.
You got to accessorize when you're in trouble with the law.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. Everybody loves America. Happy 250th birthday, America. Everybody loves you. I don't know. I'm just coping. I'm stalling right now because I really don't want to talk about the Royals. Do we got to do it?
We got to do it.
We got to talk about the Royals?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the Royals. Let me turn off my glasses. Now is not a fun time, okay?
All right. Now. Okay, I'll do my best. Wait, let me make sure that this is like really good.
I like your paper bag.
Check. You like mine? I like yours.
Yours really captures like your emotion. For me, mine looks like I'm just kind of like a grumpy old man. Like I'm just like a sad, like, it's not all just like sadness coming from my frowny face. There's a little bit of extra anger frowny, whereas yours is just like, what noise would yours make?
Ah! Ah! I think he would sound like Doodle Bob. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. So, yeah, I can barely see anything, but we're going to do this.
Yeah, so I was gone for the last couple weeks pretty much in Texas. And I'll be honest, I didn't really get to watch much Royals games. The only time that I did, we'd be losing, giving up insane amounts of runs, and I didn't really pay attention to the Royals much besides your recap videos. So thank you for making those, because if it weren't for those recap videos, I don't really think I would have, been up to date as much as I would have liked to have been. But
well, you're welcome.
Thank you. I'm sad that you told me everything you told me, though, because I was in a good mood out there in Texas until you had to tell me that the Royals sucked, and you had to remind me that I had to come home and talk about them.
Well, the Royals did this classic, like, oh, they won 5 out of 6. And then immediately we're like, hold on, that's not right. Let's lose 4 out of 5 or 5
Literally.
out of 6.
Like, it keeps going back to your point along with Denny Matthews, where it's like baseball is about hot streaks, average streaks, and bad streaks. And it's like Royals, we have slightly hot streaks. We had one hot streak where we won 10 out of 15 like a month and a half ago, whatever that was. And then we just won like 5 or whatever it was. And then that's like a slightly above average. But then we go and poop the bed and we lose like 4 or 5 straight games. And
Well, it stinks because like the offense, like the Royals have been exciting. The offense has been exciting. Like Jack Caglione coming into his own, Carter Jensen. Like it kind of felt like things were starting to come together, at least for some of those guys.
yeah.
And then Bob gets hurt. And
Yeah, we had that discussion. Like, you asked me last week, do I think we should just shut down Bob? And I was so to the point of like, we're halfway through the season, we freaking suck. Let's just shut him down. But it was not a good couple of weeks. So that's all I got to say for the Royals. And it's been really like we wouldn't be sitting here wearing our paper bags if we had better things to tell you about. So I do want to talk about Bob. Really, the only good news during this stretch is Bobby Witt Jr. is okay. Whenever he made that weird twisting on his knee play where he officially came out of the game, I thought that there was something way worse. Turns out it was simply a grade 1 MCL sprain. I was under the impression it would be a few weeks at least to get him good. I did a Google search once they diagnosed him, and it said anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to like resume activity, not even get back into the game, but like resume sports activity. And he only missed 6 games, barely a week. So he's back in the lineup. He did well. So that's good. And then why don't you tell me about the other good thing?
I mentioned this also in my recap of like the only really 2 good things to talk about right now is what you just said, and Carter Jensen's hitting streak is up to 19 games now, which leads all of Major League Baseball, and it is the most by a rookie in Kansas City Royals history. Which he passed Michael Garcia, who did that in 2023. But yeah, those are between Michael Wacha being amazing, Bob being back, and Carter Jensen doing what he's doing, and Jack, I'm just like, where's my paper bag? We're 15 games under 500.
Yeah.
The American League stinks.
Literally.
And we're somehow like,
we are the worst team in the American League right now. We have the worst record. So we're 10 games back in the American League Central, and we're 7.5 games back in the wild card race, which is the worst. We were just slightly edging the the Angels, but now the Angels have a better record than us, and we're the worst in the American League. So, yeah. Not too much good to talk about today, unfortunately.
yeah, no, it's
We're officially at the halfway point. Something I wanted to tell you was like, I'm not even in the like, I don't feel like the sky is falling with the Royals. I just feel like we are bad. I just feel like we're really bad. And like lots of the stuff that could go wrong is going wrong. But do you know what I mean? Like it's not when we gave up. So we lost 13-2 to the Tampa Bay Rays. The very next game we lose 22-1 against the White Sox. And that one run was on a fielder's choice double play. So it wasn't even a good play.
And you kind of downplayed the 13-2 loss. The Royals were no hit for 8 1/3 innings.
Dude, I was convinced that was going to happen.
Was anybody else rooting for that to happen?
I was rooting for that to happen because yet again I feel like the Royals barely avoided somebody getting fired. I honestly feel like if we would have gotten no hit, that would have been the straw that broke the Alex Zumwall's back, and someone was going to get fired. And I'm a little frustrated because every time the Royals are at like a rock bottom point, they somehow seem to just like barely avoid the worst case scenario. Like that's something Jake Eisenberg said. He said after our last win, our like 5-4 win the other day, he says the Royals avoid rock bottom because they would have been a season high 16 games below 500, but we stay 15 games below 500. So we avoided the rock bottom moment. And I was like, dude, we're like edging the rock bottom right now. Like, don't push me because I'm close to the edge moment. And like, I'm kind of just wishing that we would reach that because I want something to change. I don't want to keep watching the Royals just be bad. Like, we're like aggressively bad. It's not like the sky is falling where every single player that could be injured is injured. You know, every single backup player that could be playing is horrible. Like, like Tyler Tolbert pitched in back-to-back days, and somehow that like I was happier to see Tolbert out there than I was to see the other pitchers because when we're throwing out freaking Seabold and Beck, bunch of no names that literally shouldn't even be on an MLB roster.
Mitch Spence,
who's given up 22 earned runs in his like 11 innings that he's pitched this season.
Not even that. It is 9 1/3 is what he's pitched.
So he's pitched 9 1/3 innings and he's given up 22 runs. It's good for like a 20 ERA.
Yeah.
Get that guy out of my blue.
Yeah, so the Royals are 35-50. They're terrible. They're not going to get better.
Yeah. And again, like, I don't feel like the sky is falling, but I feel like we're just so bad and we're just not going to get better. We're officially halfway through the season. In a couple weeks, we're going to have our official, like, first half recap where we kind of, like, talk about all the good and bad of the stats and everything. But, you know, for now, it's like, we just suck. It's not... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not going to explain it to you. I don't think anyone wants to get on here and just listen to us talk about how the Royals are just the worst ever. But why don't you tell them about Seth Lugo, and then we can stop talking about the Royals.
I feel like this is a paper bag list moment. It's an exciting note.
You're so funny. You're so funny. You starting to get sweaty?
Yeah, I'm yucky.
I'm feeling all right. I'll keep it on for a minute.
You represent. Okay, so hey guys. It's
Get
me.
those glasses on, dude.
I bet you didn't know it was me under there. Let's talk about Seth Lugo. So Seth Lugo reached a very special milestone in his Major League Baseball career. He reached He reached 10 years. He reached 10 years of MLB service, which means he's now eligible for a few things. He gets the max pension plan for his I can't read this. He gets the max pension plan. He gets lifetime health coverage for him and his family, and he would be eligible for the 10-5 rights, which is a player with 10 years of service who's also spent the last 5 seasons with the same team. They would get to earn a full no trade clause. Seth Lugo is not eligible for that because he's only been with the Royals for the last 3 seasons. But anyway, he gets all this cool stuff. Like him and his family are taken care of for basically forever. So congrats to Seth Lugo.
Congratulations, Seth.
Pretty awesome. I remember, and you'll see some teams like do a lot of cool stuff. Like I remember when Lorenzo Cain was with the Brewers. We knew the Brewers were probably going to end up releasing Lorenzo Cain, but they kept him long enough to make sure that he got his 10 years of MLB service. Yeah. And then I think they released him like the next day.
I think I remember a similar thing with Esky. Whenever Escobar was inching closer to that, and then people were just being nice, leaving him on the roster. He wasn't like starting or anything.
Yeah.
Just for like the Orioles or something random. Yeah. Congratulations, Seth. We're very happy for you. He was one of the people I said last week I'd be cool with trading.
Hey, I mean, it might happen. I think I said it in my recap. Like, at what point, if you're like Michael Waka, are you walking into Cochero or JJ Piccolo's office and being like, dude, get me out of this dumpster fire?
Yeah.
Like it's
Your recap, you're like, if I'm Michael Waka, please request a trade. You deserve better.
like
it's so true.
Yeah.
That's like the one person I didn't want to see leave. But at this point, like there's teams that are going through rebuilds that are so much more successful, like the White Sox, the Cardinals. You know, it's a different kind of philosophy there, but somehow they're still able to not be the Royals. Are we cursed, man? Like, what's going on?
I remember saying that to my dad earlier in the season. I was like, I just don't think the Royals are meant to be good. I think that's just what it is.
Yeah. I feel like my hat's about to fall off.
These
things are really hot.
I know. I was like, I can't pass out. That'd be embarrassing.
All right. If we got some stadium news to talk about, I guess that's a good
news. Yeah. Let's talk about the stadium. The Royals, let me pull this up. The Royals, this is from Fox 4 KC. Royals file zoning plan for new stadium entertainment district at Crown Center. The Kansas City Royals have submitted a plan to rezone part of downtown Kansas City to create a more than 90-acre ballpark district at the southern edge of Crown Center. The application was submitted Monday to rezone several Crown Center properties as urban redevelopment district.
Okay.
So
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I just learned today from a friend's Snapchat story that Hallmark actually has like a children's activation area, kind of like a Legoland. How there's just like a ton of stuff for kids to do.
Yeah.
But Hallmark, I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
The more you know, man. I wonder if that's going to be part of the stuff that gets moved.
Yeah. So, yeah. Further on, this says the Royals are planning to break ground next year. The Royals are proposing more than 8,200 on-site parking spaces.
Oh, wow.
And the stadium will be like 34,000 capacity, which is less than Kauffman. But
you just said it'd be a 34,000 seat capacity. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. 34,000 seat capacity, which is less than Kauffman, but Kauffman is, I would say, no more than 20,000 people there on average.
Yeah. I think for the playoff games, what was I going to say?
Playoff games were pushing 40,000.
Yeah, they were pushing 40. It was like 39.
Yeah.
And that's probably that's not even that's just the attendees, like ticket going attendees. It's not accounting for all the humans that are there in general.
Yep. But no, it's just they brought this plan earlier on in the season, and we really haven't heard anything about it since.
Yeah.
And now we're hearing more, and it's exciting that it actually seems like, hey, we're moving forward, and kind of similar to how the Chiefs are. We see an end in sight. We saw the Chiefs that put together some they filed some trademark applications.
Yeah.
So
we could talk about that, dude.
Yeah, let's pull it up real quick.
610. They or 96.5 The Fan. They did a funny job. They literally just read some of the trademark like names that the Chiefs like applied for.
Tailgate Town.
Like they're trying to do a play on the Packers title town, and
it was Tailgate Town for the tailgating area, Kingdom Commons for like the practice facility.
Kingdom Commons is cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with that.
But then it was Arrowhead Sports and Entertainment Complex, I believe.
Yeah. Which is still cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Just because like the fact that they're moving, but they're still gonna like be leaning into the whole Arrowhead theme. I'm okay with that. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I feel bad this week because I feel like we're just like down in the dumps about the Royals, and we're trying to think of anything to talk about besides that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could get in here and be like, yeah, like we've done it. Like, look how terrible they are. I just don't want to do that right now. There's
a lot of stats that go into every single game, whether it's good or bad, that we could talk about. And I think Royals fans at this point, they just want to know, like, what's our record? Do we actually have a chance?
Yeah.
What players are still here? Is Bobby doing well? Stuff like that.
Yep.
So.
And you mentioned like bringing up stats during the All-Star week. we're going to actually kind of lean into that because obviously there's not much to talk about. So we'll kind of do like a first half recap of the season and just find the positives and talk about the negatives. Like, let's just talk about everything that happened and where do they go from here. So that'll be
a good show.
The week of the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think that episode will come out. I just so you guys know, we're going to be shooting and releasing the episode on that Wednesday, I think the 15th, so that we can do a reaction to the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game.
Yep.
I guess if you'd like, we could lean into the news of the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby if you'd want to. It's a good segue. So we got the notification at the time of recording right now. It is Tuesday afternoon. We just got the notification that there's only 48 hours left to vote for the All-Star game. So by the time you're listening to this, it's within one day. You got 24 hours to vote. So Bobby Witt Jr., he does lead in the American League at shortstop. He's at 1.7 million votes. He's 800,000 votes ahead of the second place vote getter. So this would be the third time in all of Royals history that a starting shortstop is a Kansas City Royal. Freddie Patek did it in 1978, and then Escobar did it in 2015, back when it was the Royals versus the National League. So that's super cool. Props to Bobby. We're glad to see that he's back in the lineup last week and last few days, it should be actually. And I was saying last week, I just hope that they can shut him down and have him healthy to go to start that All-Star game. What? Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, so that's really fun. And then additionally, with that same news that came out with the MLB, with the Home Run Derby, there's a little bit of news. So Junior Caminero with the Rays just was the first player to commit to the Home Run Debra. That's what it says in our notes. The Home Run Derby, and that's going to be on Monday, the 13th, the day before the All-Star game, which is on Tuesday. And
on
it kind of
Netflix.
yeah, get those subscriptions paid. But no, this opened up a conversation for us. I just wanted to ask you the question: do you think Jack Caglione actually has a chance to go to the Home Run Derby?
I think he does.
Yeah,
Obviously, we need to see his health.
Yeah,
but
because then you get pulled because of a groin thing.
Yeah, he has a groin. Yeah,
he does have a groin.
So
can confirm.
Which, speaking of groins, tangent, I saw something where Tom Brady said that he had a surgeon tell him that he needed to snip his groin
tendons, like groin tendons.
Yeah. Which that never ended up happening. I just was like,
yeah. Well, he recommended that he get his groin tendon snipped and it'll never be an issue again. And Tom Brady was like, I don't think that's something I want to do. Is there anything else I can do? And then some other trainer guy was like, hey, come out to my house. I'll fix you in like a week or two. So Tom went and stayed at this place. He trained and stretched and did all sorts of stuff, and it was never an issue again. So very cool.
But I do think that Jack Caglione could be. He's one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's hit a lot of home runs in the month of June. A lot of moon shots in the month of June. I was looking at the old Baja Blast tracker here on MLB.com. Most 420-foot home runs in Major League Baseball. And you have Shea Langoliers from the A's with 9, Yordan Alvarez from Houston with 8, and Jack Caglione with 8. So he's top
Jack.
3 of home runs of 420 feet. So to me, that alone
shows that he's got some pop.
Hit some balls hard. That ball was hit a long ways. We know Jack Caglione, according to Ryan Lefevre, is a swinger, so we want him. We want him there, and I think it'd be cool. You get the young up and coming player.
Yeah, man. There's a couple other little noteworthy things with it. Is like Mike Trout. He has a lot of home runs this season. I love to see the resurgence from Michael and Yordan Alvarez with Houston. Both of them have kind of been battling injuries the last couple years. The Astros are a little weird about All-Star Week and like the World Baseball Classic. Sometimes they don't let their players go because if they're injured, they don't want to make it worse because they care way more about their baseball season. So there's kind of a question of if Alvarez would be allowed to go, whether or not he'd be considering it is, who knows. But with Mike Trout, he's been injured. So usually players that are injured don't go, so that kind of goes against the Caglione availability theory. But I know, we're always pulling for him, and
you don't have to be an all-star to participate in the home run derby. So
that's right. It's just wasn't Jazz Chisholm a freaking? He might have been an all-star, but that is not a home run hitter. He sucked, and it was hilarious to watch him suck on the national television. And then real quick, I did want to kind of mention the home run derby rules, because they revised the rules, and they are going away from, they're changing their format. So I'll just read this article off. So Major League Baseball is doing away with their timer that governs the home run derby since 2015, and they're reverting back to a swing-based format for this year's competition in Philly. And it'll be the first time it'll ever be streamed on Netflix. 8 players will make the field, same as in the past, but instead of trying to hit as many in a certain timed round, they have a certain number of swings. So round 1, they have 20 swings. Round 2, they have 15 swings. And the finals is also 15 swings. All swings will count against a player's swing allotment, whether it results in a home run or not. However, a player who homers on his final swing of a round can keep swinging until he does not hit a home run. So you could hit 0 home runs until your final swing, and then you could hit 100 home runs. That's just kind of the way they're coping with that. But the home run derby format, quick facts. There's no timer, and there are no outs. Round 1 is 20 swings. Round 2 is 15. Finals is 15. Each swing counts. If you homer on your last swing, you get to keep going. There are no bonus rounds, and there's no bracket for the first round at all. It's just all 8 versus all 8. The tiebreaker is home run distance for round 1. And then round 2 and the finals, it's a 3-swing home run off. A swing off. Jack Caglione's going to be good at that.
The old home run off.
Like 24 and 25, all 8 hitters will be entered into a single pool for round 1. The players with the top 4 home run totals from that round will advance to the semifinals. Well, they'll be seeded based on their number of home runs, and they'll face off head-to-head. So pretty cool. That's really it. And this kind of opened up a...
You want to play a little game?
I want to play a little game with you here. So what I want to do is I want to do a little home run derby draft. I want us to look and name off 4 players, each of us, that will total up to 8, to have a head-to-head matchup. Who do we think would hit more home runs? We'll check the home run totals after we name our 4 players, but based on feel alone, I want to just take turns naming off some names, and then we'll see which team we think would be better. You want to do it?
Let's do it. Rock, paper,
so
scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, see who goes first.
Are we going on shoot?
On shoot. So it's going to be rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right?
Okay. Wait.
Only one. We didn't know 2 out of 3s.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Boom! Let's go. First overall, I'm taking Kyle Schwarber. Who you taking?
Okay. So first on my list,
and you can take whoever you want, injuries aside. A whole MLB. Who'd you take?
taking Yordan Alvarez.
Okay. And this is for a home run derby. This isn't for a game. This is for a home run derby.
Yeah.
Okay, 2. Since I'm a homer, give me Jack Caglione.
Okay.
That guy's gonna hit some bombs. Easy.
Give me Colorado Rockies catcher Hunter Goodman.
Dude, who the heck is Hunter Goodman? Where did he come from? What are they feeding them out there in Colorado?
They're feeding them that thin air.
Thin air and edibles?
Yeah.
Freaking SpongeBob filter feeding.
Who's your next?
Let's see here.
You got 2 more.
I know who I'm going to take. Surprisingly, neither one of us have picked Aaron Judge yet, so I'm going to shock.
Is he available?
I'm going to shock the house. Yeah, I said injuries.
Oh,
no
okay.
injuries.
No
You can
injuries?
take whoever you want.
Okay.
So next up, I'm going to shock the house, and I'm going to take Nick Kurtz.
Kick Nerds.
I'm going to take Kick Nerds.
All right. Kick nerds. All right, I like that. I'm going Bryce Harper.
Oof. Unk. I'm just kidding. He's still good. All right. Last but not least, I'm taking O'Neal Cruz.
Okay.
That guy can hit some bams.
For my final pick, you know what? He's already committed to the home run derby. He's the only player to have committed. I'm going Junior Caminero.
Okay. So currently, right now in 26, my group of Schwarber, Kags, Kurtz, and Cruz has 77 home runs. And your group of Alvarez, Goodman, Harper, and Caminero have 93. So you beat me out there. It wasn't a game there. All we're trying to say is who would win in a 4v4 face-off. And per the Mountain Dew Baja Blast home run tracker, home runs over 420 feet. My group has 24. Brandon's group has 26. So this is really kind of just like who would hit more home runs in BP. Kind of like, I mean, you have a good group though. Alvarez, Goodman, Harper, Caminero. I mean, if we're talking proven success, Schwarber plus a bunch of super potential hard hitters of Kags, Kurtz, and Cruz.
Yeah.
Give me my team, dude.
No, I like your team. They're cute. I think
cute. we got some swingers on our team.
Yeah.
You just got a bunch of.
I got a bunch of approvens. Yeah. Hunter Goodman, maybe not. I'm not that familiar with him, but I saw 26 home runs. I was looking at Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton has 25 home runs.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Byron.
Freaking awesome. I like Byron Buxton. He's kind of like Bobby. He's a good comp. Fast. Gets good hits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? Why are you looking at me like that?
Am I not allowed to look over there? Sorry.
No, don't look at me anymore. You're just laughing at me. I like the look with your glasses up on your bucket hat.
Thank you.
It like lights up your hat in a good way, especially on camera.
It makes me look smart, I think.
Well, it's funny when I'm wearing these glasses, looking at your glasses, it's like sunglasses, so it dims the light, so you just have a bunch of like little blue dots lighting up on your hat, but on camera, you're like glowing.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Yeah, I want to do a little MLB news if you're down.
Okay. I'd rather talk about MLB stuff in general. We're playing footsie down there?
Hey-yo. All right, so there was another firing in Major League Baseball this week. If you're a Royals fan, I've seen it. You guys are all calling for Q's head, or really anybody at this point, and I get it. But the Mets just fired their manager, Carlos Mendoza, who, by the way, the Mets are 35-50, which is the same record as the Kansas City Royals.
Yup.
The Mets had playoff aspirations as well.
Oh, yeah, big time.
And they have like one of the top 5 payrolls in all of baseball.
Uh-huh.
It's not going well out there.
So you remember how I said earlier that I don't feel like the sky is falling for the Royals? That's not how I'd say it with the Mets. I feel like their fall from grace is a little bit more spectacular because like the Royals were 1 game above 500 in 2025. I was hoping at least that give me an extra at least 4 to 5 games, and that puts us a handful of games above 500. That's right there in the wild card race. That's all we were really hoping for. We weren't even expecting that. We were just kind of hoping it. The Mets, however, they weren't a playoff. Were they a playoff team last year? Stupid question. I should know the answer to that, but I don't.
I don't remember if they were last year. They might not have been last year. They went to the NLCS the year before. I think they missed last season.
So, I mean, 2024, both the Royals and the Mets made the playoffs. Mets went further, but I would say that the Mets were closer to success than the Royals were. I mean, kind of. They had better players, at least. Juan Soto was in town. So, I mean, we have Bobby, so,
Well, you have, Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto. The point is, like, you have a lot of money invested in your Mets team. I'm
just kind of proud of them for taking that step, I'm not going to say like firing Mendoza was the answer. I'm not a Mets fan. I don't really know what the story of their season is, if it's mismanagement, but like,
Well,
I'm
they
glad to
lost
see something.
like 16 of 19 games or something stupid
Yeah,
early on
yeah.
in the season.
Carter Jensen totally saved somebody's job, hitting that home run, keeping us from getting no hit.
Isn't that,
I'm telling you?
you could sit there and do that with the Royals though, and go, what if Jack Caglione was in the lineup every day when we were griping about putting him in the lineup every day in April? Like, what if Jack Caglione was hitting 310 and had
Yeah.
22 home runs and had a 360 on base percentage? Like,
what if when Kyle Isbell was the freaking rock of the offense early on, what if he was in the lineup every day instead of taking him out whenever he has a 10-game hit streak?
Yeah, same to be said about Carter Jensen early on. And it's like, hey, like, it's like there's so much mismanagement that happened during the season. I don't really know if I'm like a fire Matt Quatraro mindset right now.
Yeah.
But I'm also like,
would it hurt?
You missed the postseason last year and you had every excuse in the book because of that. You're terrible this year. You have a ton of injuries now, but before, the only real injury you were dealing with was Carlos Estevez, and you kind of made that work for a little bit with Urseg.
But they made it worse though with Estevez. So like, letting him play.
Yeah,
I think they made it worse.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So it's almost like can you move forward with Quatraro? That's like the big question for me. And I know, like, we'll talk about it in a second, but I sit here and I'm just assuming that 2027 there's going to be games that are lost in some capacity just because of the CBA negotiations. And I am like, the Royals the clock is ticking with this team, with Bobby Witt Jr. Like, listen to me. Bobby Witt Jr., his first opt-out is in 2030, and he has player options for like 4 straight years or something like that. If I'm Bobby Witt Jr., and we get to 2030, and the Royals have been to the postseason once in his career, I'm leaving. Like, I'm saying, you know what? This wasn't what I thought, unless there's like, some promise. But like, the clock is ticking on this team. Can we continue to waste time? Because the Royals can't rebuild. They can't rebuild. We can't do that. We don't have time.
Theoretically they could, because there's teams that are in the middle of rebuilds and they're succeeding accidentally. Like the teams I mentioned earlier, the Cardinals and the White Sox. Mm-hmm. But still, and like the Rays, even these are teams that we weren't expecting to actually be that good, and they're actually kind of balling. And my question with Quatraro was like, would it hurt to get him fired? And then with the rebuild question, it's like, clearly this isn't going to do it. Clearly our farm system is not going to do it. We only have a handful of players that we're actually excited about in our system. Like, I've had to explain this multiple times, and I don't need to keep explaining it, but I'll say it one more time. Our team is our team. We have the players in our minor league system. That's our fallback, used in case of emergency players. Yeah. Most of the time, if you try to bring up a player from the minor leagues when they're not ready yet, it's going to look not well. It's not going to end well. That's what I'm saying. And the only way you can change this is if you start trading players or signing big free agents. Like, you got to change it somehow, and those are not July things that will save a season. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't completely revamp your team. You could make a trade. Like, we could trade one good player for a couple, like, prospects. We could trade, or vice versa, trade a couple prospects for, wait, that's the same thing. I was just going to say the same thing a second way. Like, we could trade a good player for prospects, or we could trade prospects for a good player. But those are not things that you do in July. Those are things you do in the offseason to change your team before you start your season. Like, we're not in a position to be buyers. That's how it works. There's buyers and there's sellers. If you're a buyer, you're trying to win. If you're selling, you're trying to set yourself up for the future. you're selling off all your stock that you have in your team now so that you can rebuild and get more players and develop. And we're not buyers. Like there's no way. Like unfortunately, unless our team that we have right now decides to turn it around, which they still could. Like we've seen flashes, they just are so inconsistent. Even our best players, even Bob, even Garcia, Salvi sucks this season. Pasquantino sucked and now he's hurt. So
that's like I think it's just goes back to the conversation. Like there's no average with this team. There's no average. They're either the best team in the league or they're just absolutely terrible. And there's no in between. And like for me, logically, like obviously, yeah, the Royals are by definition they're sellers. Whether or not JJ Piccolo, I said it last week, whether or not he wants to actually do that. Because I'm like, logically it makes sense to trade Michael Wacha. He's the best player. He's the best pitcher on the Royals rotation. He has the most innings pitched in the American League. He has like the third most innings pitched in all of baseball. But then you go, well, they kind of need him in the rotation in 2027.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was definitely do not trade Wacha, but that's just because he's the only one that's actually good. So like Seth Lugo, he's good, but he's a little older and he has his ups and downs. So it's like if anybody needs a starter, throw a Seth Lugo out there and he'll get you more wins than he would losses, probably, if you have a team that's going to give him run support.
Yeah. I think pitching will be like a huge I think Royals pitchers will be what contending teams want. I think even players like Alex Lang, who's kind of shown himself like, hey, look how good I am in high leverage spots. I think he could be somebody that gets dealt. And those, like, the problem is, like you kind of mentioned it, the trade deadline deals don't typically give you the type of return that you would want in versus doing it in the offseason.
Yeah.
So,
well, not for a team in our position, especially. Like if we're going to be sellers, we're not trading our good players for prospects and expecting us to redeem this season. Yeah. That's never what the selling reality is. And something like I sent you a tweet. I sent you a tweet about Daniel Lynch, and it was like we haven't been using him in the most high leverage spots because he might have that potential. And we don't want to use him and then him potentially be not good and then his trade stock just tank. And then we've been using him in some high leverage stuff this season and he's actually not doing too great so far in the last couple outings. The best throw he made was at Nick Lofton's gonads. So, I mean.
And honestly, that play, that sums up the Royals season of 2026. It was like
we are all Nick Lofton.
We are Nick Lofton, and it's just
Daniel Lynch is the Royals organization as a whole.
Between almost getting no hit to following that up with
35-3,
22 runs, giving up 35 runs in a 2-day span, and then Daniel Lynch just absolutely smoking Nick Lofton. I'm like, yep, that's it. That's the play that defines the season. When I look back on 2026, barring
the play.
Barring a turnaround, I'm going to be like, yep, that's the season that Nick Lofton.
I'm so happy that happened.
We'll see if he decides it's time to start wearing a cup, I guess.
Dude, even Salvi, he got hit in the nads not too long ago, but he was wearing a cup, but it still hurt. Like the umpire was like, hold on, give it a sec. So.
But it's like the Royals, I think if they're going to make trades, obviously like the point isn't to redeem this season. That's out the window on August 3rd or whatever the deadline is. But it's, can I get major league ready talent? Yeah. Like that's it.
Major league ready talent or someone like how we drafted Caglione and within one season he's already in.
Yeah.
Like that was a kind of a rush job, but there's a lot of players that were in that draft class that they came up. Like Nick Kurtz is from that draft class. Bazzano, whatever the heck
Travis
his name is.
From Cleveland.
Yeah.
But the draft is All-Star weekend. So we'll see. We'll talk about that in a couple weeks of who they call up and kind of who they draft rather and who kind of what their potential is.
Yeah. So I don't want to say 2026 is lost. Anything can happen. We've seen, like, even last year, we didn't have to look far. The Guardians, they came and were able to play back from a pretty sizable deficit.
I
in
think they
division.
were 10 games back.
Yeah, and they came up and they won the division because just so happened the Tigers played their worst ball of the season right there at the end. And
that's all it takes.
Yeah.
You get hot at the same time, like the Detroit decides that they are bad.
Yeah.
And
if we were to have an insanely hot month where we won 20 out of 30, go up 10 games, we're 5 games below 500 at that point. If we could have another team in our division that just decides to go 500 even, we're still going to climb 5 games in our own division.
Yeah.
So
you said it, Royals are 10 games back. This is just the delusional optimism, I guess. But like the Chicago White Sox, they lead the Central. They're 5 games
crazy?
above 500. It's not like they're doing what the Rays are doing and they're 48 and 33, or what the Brewers are 20 games over 500. No. They're 5 games over 500. So it's not like we can still see them.
Yeah.
They're still in reach. It's just you've got to start playing. It's not even like you got to start playing good baseball because that's obvious, but it's like stop playing good baseball and then turning around and just literally giving all of the work that you just made, all of the progress you just made, and giving it right back. Because that's what has happened every time this season. Is they are like, oh, we're so back. We just won. Yeah. Just kidding. Because it's just like a rubber band.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the American League right now. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams above 500. There are 5 out of 15 teams in the American League above 500. That's the Rays, White Sox, Rangers, Yankees, Guardians. Everybody else, Mariners, Astros, Twins, Blue Jays, A's, O's, Red Sox, Tigers, Angels, Royals, all below 500. Well, at or below 500.
Yep. The Royals have the second worst run differential in all of baseball, just ahead of the Rockies.
Throwing that out there. Rubbing salt in the wound. And then on the National League side, it's kind of the opposite story. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that are 500 or less in the National League. So it's 2 completely different stories. Like, not at all what we were expecting for this season.
No,
so.
Yeah, we can say it every week. Like this is, and like we say, like this is not what we expected. This is not what anybody expected.
Yeah.
So that's like when you talk about like Carlos Mendoza of the Mets being fired, like you almost have to have that conversation because, like, all right, Matt Contreras' first year, Royals lose 106 games, turn around, win 86 games in 2024, wild card. Win the wild card series, go to the ALDS. The further we get away from 2024, the more we go, okay, was 2024 the outlier? And your expectations of winning are extremely high, and you have come up short again.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. And it's like, I look at like this team versus like, this team has like up and coming players of Cags and Jensen, like young core, like 2012 Royals vibes, like our time Royals vibes, 72 and 90 Kansas City Royals. But if you're like, who has higher expectations? I think this team has higher expectations than those teams because this team for the most part has been there.
Yeah.
And so like, why aren't we back? What's the problem?
It's a great question. We don't have Ned Yost, the winningest manager in Royals history.
Yeah. And which is funny because you and I talked about, we looked at the Royals managerial win-loss record history and we were like, oh, yeah, Matt Contreras got extended through 2029. He's definitely going to be the winningest manager in MLB or in Royals history. And now it's like, I don't know if he's going to be here to even see that contract out.
Yeah, literally.
So
I think my glasses are in the process of dying.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Maybe I'll do one of these, see if it dies. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one guy couldn't have been more wrong. I think you're going to be the greatest manager in the history of the Kansas City Royals.
Manager in the history of the Kansas City Royals. Based on what, dude? Like
literally. I mean, you make a great point. The comparison of like the 2012, 2011, 2012, 2013, like that's a great point. And we were all kind of hoping that, you know, India's going to have a healthy season. All of our pitchers are actually going to be healthy. It's only going to be better.
I think the only thing we got right, because it was like we're counting on Cags and Jensen. I think that's the only thing that has really come to fruition.
Yeah, they're both very good. I mean, not super. They've been very good.
Yeah.
In this month of June, both of them have just been the rocks of the offense.
Yeah. I want to shift gears.
Yeah.
So we've kind of covered, and we talked about earlier in the episode, MLB and MLBPA are currently negotiating the next collective bargaining agreement. And last week, MLB put together another proposal. So just wanted to kind of go over like the big points of that for me. Something that I actually said about a month ago, and I've been saying it for years, is that, you know, I personally am not a fan of these ridiculous 15-year contracts for $500 million or whatever the value is. Yeah. And I think that it makes way more sense to cap the contract lengths. So like, 5 years is the max deal you can sign, and you can sign that for whatever deal they decide, or for whatever value they decide it is. I feel validated because in MLB proposed exactly that of, hey, we want to put a cap on contract lengths for free agent eligible players. If you are a free agent and you are wanting to leave the team you are on, the longest contract you can sign is for 5 years at a 15% of the contract cap, or salary cap. So this is $202 million total guaranteed, which is
at 15% of the salary cap. Is the maximum deal.
Yeah,
really. So, I didn't know that part. Wow. Okay. So depending on what the salary cap ends up being. Yeah. What?
So either way, like.
So there is a term length, but there's also a money cap.
Yeah, which is like it's structured just like the NBA. NBA is like if you
Supermax or whatever.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, like if you are a free agent and if you're a free agent eligible player and you stay with your team, you can sign a 6-year contract with them worth 16% of the cap. So this would be $265 million, which is a significant increase.
Okay.
And I like that because for a couple reasons. One, like the Dodgers can't just go, oh, we'll do 5 years and then like super inflate the number.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
But something that I actually just was reading today was this doesn't stop teams from. We'll use Jack Caglione as an example. Okay. Jack Caglione's still under team control, I think, through 2031, maybe. Okay. That's just guesstimate. If Cags and the Royals wanted to sit down today, and this deal was signed into, like, this was it. Yeah. They could still sign Jack Caglione to a 10-year deal if they wanted to, but it would be worth the value
of the 15-year or 15%
of his player's service. Yeah.
Wait,
of his service time.
Yeah, his service time.
Yeah, it would be worth the value of his service time.
Would they have some kind of arbitrator determine that number, or would they have?
I think it's. I think they probably will come up with a number of like what your value is based on your service size. So I think that's what it is.
They would appraise him.
Yeah.
Put him up on a stage, on a Lazy Susan.
Yeah, that's kind of the
newest. It's kind of like sorry to talk over you. It's like the maximum of the 15% through the whole contract. So if they did a 10-year deal today, 15% of whatever the cap is, it would be that maximum all the way throughout. Interesting. But if you're a free agent, you play through your rookie years, you play through your arbitration eligible years, you're a free agent. You could sign with a new team for 5 years, or you could sign with your own team for 6 years.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Yep. I like it.
I sent you a text. I don't think that those are the right numbers. I'm excited to see the counter, because there's going to be a counter, and then they're going to come up with something probably in the middle, and it's going to actually probably be great, because whatever they come up with, I'm okay with, because I was just saying, like, if it's the same team, let's bump it up from 6 to 8. If it's the outside team, 5 is okay. I'm actually okay with the outside team, but there needs to be more incentive to stay with your team, even though
I think for me,
you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. No, I think for me, from my point, like the way that I look at it is like, again, like going back to those long-term contracts, they, like if you sign like Albert Pujols, for example, I'm not going to pull up his numbers, but Miguel Cabrera too signs a 10-year deal with the Los Angeles Angels. They get 5 good years out of Albert Pujols, and then the rest of the time it's just like, oh my gosh,
why did we do this?
Yeah. Like,
well, I mean, it sounds to me like you're more in favor of the MLB protecting the teams from themselves,
well, yeah,
whereas you are like letting them be accountable for the stupid deal they made.
Yeah, you made it. Yeah, for me, those long-term deals are only good for the player that signed them.
Yeah,
like that's the way that I look at it. Like,
yeah, that's completely true.
It just doesn't make sense to me, and I think, yeah, well, let's also, how much money is enough money? Like $202 million or whatever the deal, whatever the offer or the number they agree on. Like, okay, you sign a 5-year deal worth $202 million. 5 years from now, you can do the same thing. And we know how that works, where the salary cap is going to be significantly higher 5 years from now than it was today. So you can, in the next 5 years, you're signing a $250 million deal. So like, okay, and then in 10 years, you've made north of $500 million. Like, we've got to stop pretending like that's the system is oppressive to the players with this setup.
I mean, the players have it good. Yeah. At least right now they do. There's really no limitations to anything. This is probably the best it'll ever be. Like, now is the time to do everything before it changes. If you want to sign your players to any gigantic deals, I definitely don't mind the idea of having a price limit on the deals and a year limit. I just think that the price limit for if you're staying with your team should probably go up if the team wants that player. Like, I was kind of saying, like, if it's a new team, 5 years, 15% salary cap max, that's not bad. I actually like that. But if you're staying with your team, if there's an incentive to stay with your team, I mean, the 1 extra year with the 1 extra percent boost, I don't think that's enough. I think it should be something like 8 years, 18%, just to kind of help that out. But they're gonna come with a counter for both of those, and there's gonna be something kind of in the middle there. So, yeah. And all this is doing is pointing towards a salary cap league with salary, distribution being more fair.
Oh, the horror!
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely in favor here. So,
yeah.
This is just all the fact that they're even like the MLB is proposing things that are in that conversation. Like, this is in that realm of the change. So, like, the fact that these are even things we're talking about, it's actually making me happy. Like, that we're going in this direction. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Very good. Is there any other MLB news, like CBA news, anything else going on besides just that little update there?
There's a bunch of stuff that MLB proposed. Like, I think they're agreeing on getting rid of the qualifying offer.
What's that?
So, like, qualifying offer is like, okay, you have a player that's a free agent. You can extend a qualifying offer. It's a 1-year deal, usually worth $20 million or whatever.
Yeah.
If they decline it, you get You get a compensatory pick or something like that.
Sweet.
Like, so they're talking about getting rid of that, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because that also just incentivizes you to go out and get those players that you're willing to take a risk on, and if they don't want to stay, they can go, and then you can get a little compensation for it.
Yep.
If you're following what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they are proposing, which the players propose this as well, but they want to increase the minimum salary from $780,000 to $1 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it? Is that their counter?
That's their counter. The players wanted
Okay.
1.5.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, hey,
but there's some stuff
an
that
extra
they've
$250,000. Dude.
yeah, there's some stuff that they've aligned on that I see. So,
surprising stuff too. That's
yeah. But I think that, and I think I saw the Players Association come out against this 5-year cap thing.
Yeah.
So it's
They'll
just
counter.
They will. But I've said it before. Like the players, nice. The players don't have the fan support like they did in years prior. Because fans are done. Fans are done with the current structure, and like I keep seeing MLB Players Association. I speech jammed myself. I'm not even wearing headphones, but yeah. They keep coming out and making these ridiculous, like, this is the worst deal ever for the players. And, like, in the players' defense, you said it, they have the best setup in all of sports. Yeah. So why would they want to change it?
Yeah.
For me, though, if you were a player, you have to look at why are you a player? Like, why can you do the job that you can do? Because you have fans that want to go and watch you play, right?
Yeah.
If your fans don't like it, make that change for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, sports are a sport for the athletes. They're doing one job, while the only way that the sport can succeed is from fans and from the fan base that you play in, and from your what's the word?
Market.
Yeah, your market.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Royals market is different than all the other markets. You know, it's very niche, but we love our Royals. Everybody loves the Royals. So it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, you should care more about what your fans think than really anything, because that's what pays your bills. Yeah. And like, if they say one thing, it's kind of like, wouldn't you kind of love if, like, during this whole stadium thing with the Royals and with the Chiefs, they just like were putting things up for a vote? Like, Kansas City's market kind of sucks. Like, I'm not sure I would like to see what the vote would come to, because we've turned down all the cool stuff so far. No rolling roof at the stadiums currently. Yeah. There's no downtown stadium connected to the Power and Light District. I think it's going to work out, but
yeah. I've seen people trying to get something on a ballot.
Well, I don't care. It's happening. Royals are moving to Crown Center. Chiefs are moving to the Legends area. It's happening.
They're moving to
what I'm saying is like
Eastern Kansas.
Yeah, literally. But like Kingdom Commons, whatever the frick. But what I'm saying is, like, wouldn't it be cool if they said, we want fountains? How much should we invest in the fountains? We have this much of a budget to do cool stuff in the stadium, but stadiums are going to cost this, or like fountains are going to cost this much. A screen's going to cost this much. What are the things that we have to have? What do you want it to look like? How big do you want it to be? How much should we invest in that? What percentage of our budget for cool fun amenities should we invest in that? And like, I think we would come to a pretty cool agreement. Like, we talked about the stadium thing last time. It's like the Royals should do something that is like an absolute icon. They're not going to do it. I already know they're not going to do it. But like, they should do something that's like an icon for this entire area. Like, they're building this huge, insane baseball district. Why not make one of the coolest fountain displays in all of America?
You know what?
Like the Niagara Falls, but of fountains. Can you imagine that?
We need like a skyscraper-sized fountain, and we can just use all of the water resources in the area, and it's going to be the most expensive, amazing thing ever.
All you got to have is a bunch of pumps. Whoever the plumbing is getting hired to do that, props. But like, imagine a stadium where the entire outside is just fountains falling. It's just waterfalls. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, just the walls are fountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking at a stadium and just the entire outside is just or like a portion of it at least.
Yeah.
Or like one entire side that faces an entire side. If you're at Crown Center and you're looking at the stadium, what if one entire side was just a gigantic waterfall with fountains and stuff? Like, that is something I think almost everybody would sign up for. If you gave us a handful of concepts, that's something that I think we'd all sign up, because that's one of the coolest. Like in Houston, Texas, they have the water wall. Or I'm sorry, I think that's Dallas. Outside of Dallas, is it Houston?
Who
Outside of a mall.
Who are you asking?
I think it's in Houston. Hey, Hey, what is it? But no, I think it's in Houston. They have a water wall. Have you seen that before?
It might be. I would have to be in Houston because in Dallas.
Okay.
You said it's outside of a mall.
It's outside of a mall.
Okay, because
you walk outside.
Yeah, because I've been to the Galleria or whatever in Dallas multiple times, and I don't remember seeing anything like that.
I think it's Houston. I'll figure it out in 2 seconds. Give me just a second.
Where's that at?
It's saved from Snapchat, so I don't know. I think this is in Houston. But yeah, it's just this giant waterfall. That's probably 35, 40 feet tall. It's just a gigantic semicircle of waterfall. Like, imagine that, but down the side of an entire stadium. Like, you're walking past Wrigley Field, and an entire walk is just waterfall or fountains. Like, imagine the outfield experience times 4. Like the right field fountains, but times 4 is
You know
a
what?
huge bath pool with tons
I've got
of
it.
What?
I've
What do you got?
it. So
What do you got?
whenever a player gets called in for relief from the bullpen,
They got to swim in on a kayak.
no. There's a water slide that that kind of it comes in out of the ground, and the player has to climb this ladder, and the water slide will drop them right onto the mound. And
That's a
then
great idea.
to pair that with the shark vortex that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that'd be so amazing. Do you know what's the guy's name? The Brewers mascot that has to slide down the slide. Yeah, Bernie Brewer. He goes down that slide after home runs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar concept, but it's a water slide. It drops you down.
Yeah,
dude, we're on to something here. All right, Colin Maxey, take notes. You're welcome for doing your job.
Yeah.
But no, you see where I'm coming from with all that. But
I do.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Kansas City. I think my glasses are officially almost dead.
Yeah, they're struggling. Is it honorable mention time?
You know what my honorable mention will be?
I know mine.
Obviously, it's the World Cup in Kansas City. I just want to make an honorable mention that Kansas City is absolutely owning the World Cup right now. Like, we are the best market for the World Cup. And if you look at any place that has watch parties or anything like that, they are always packed. They're super big and fun, high energy. We had that insane. I was in Texas, so I didn't get to be a part of it. I would have worn all my Mavericks gear and gone out there decked out in orange, and I would have walked down the street with Netherlands out downtown. But we were all wondering, would Kansas City be able to sustain or support a huge inflow of traffic that we're not used to that can support a big event like this? And I honestly kind of thought it was going to be a flop. That's not an indictment on any of the entities putting on any watch parties or anything like that. It was literally just like, I had a bad feeling that Kansas City was going to be lame about it. I was worried that something stupid was going to happen. But boy, was I freaking wrong. There's so many watch parties that are sick. Downtown is always crazy. That FIFA activation area outside the World War I Museum, that is always crazy. It's bumping. The Power and Light District is always bumping. Out at Sporting KC Park, the Summer Capital Celebration things, those things are always bumping. And it's just so cool to see that Kansas City is just owning it. There's not been any sort of, I mean, there was a little bit of like when the first game happened, Argentina versus whoever the heck that was, Algeria or Curacao or something. I think it was Algeria. There was like a really bad transportation issue with like the free buses that were happening, but that was only for that one game, and everything else has been totally fine. So shout out Kansas City. You guys are actually doing it. You're pulling it off. You're making us look really good. All the fans in Kansas City, turns out we're actually the soccer capital of America because everybody here, the market, loves soccer out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, that's I'm just gonna piggyback off of that because that was gonna be mine too. Of like, Kansas City loves sports,
dude,
and it's like anything. You look at the Olympics, like Kansas City is gonna be a top 5 market.
Yeah,
they just watch sports, and for this, like, Kansas City is the smallest market hosting the World Cup, and it has been the life of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Orange Walk. All of the watch parties are insane.
Yup.
TV numbers, Kansas City is number 1, and it's not close. Kansas City, Boston, Austin, Dallas, and San Diego. That's the top 5 markets
Crazy.
for World Cup viewership on Fox.
Poor San Diego
that's
losing
not
the Chargers.
that's not Telemundo or anything. But
Yeah, true.
Kansas City has embraced the World Cup, and I think it helps. Like for me, like I'm like for Kansas City being a host city for the World Cup in 2026 is insane. If you would have told me 15 years ago that Kansas City would be a host city for the biggest event in the world,
never would have even thought that.
Like, yeah, okay. But
I mean, Arrowhead is like built for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a perfect venue for a soccer crowd. Could it be a little bigger? Sure. Like there's other stadiums that like college stadiums that are bigger.
Oh yeah,
and they would fill them, but Arrowhead is perfect for that.
and you know,
Argue to a wall.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's been cool. Speaking of Arrowhead, I'm like, if I didn't know that they were playing in Arrowhead right now, I don't think I would recognize Arrowhead. Like
Really?
yeah,
I totally do.
It's-
The layout is so Arrowhead. There's not a single stadium that is exactly the layout as Arrowhead, so it's like,
it's just the way that it looks. It's all blue and like,
oh yeah.
I'm like,
With the FIFA signage on
Yeah.
the sidelines and stuff like that, and like the walls are brought back like 10, 15 rows or something. So like there's a taller wall on one side, so you're kind of like, what am I looking at here?
Yep. But no,
Yeah, it's awesome.
it's awesome.
Arrowhead, they did a great job flipping that. So I do kind of hate that they had to change the signage and stuff. Like seeing the Arrowhead part taken down kind of broke my heart a little bit, but it's okay. We're all gonna have to look at that here soon anyway. But yeah, put down your phone, turn off your TV, and go meet some people that aren't from here and have a good time, because there's a lot of nice people. I was on the elevator with some Scottish chick. She was probably 70 years old, talking about how they just went to a World Cup game there in Houston, and it was awesome. Sit there talking to some lady with a Scottish accent. There's so many people out there. Like we have Argentina here, Algeria is here, Netherlands is here, England is here. So there's lots of there's so many influencers on my on my feed of people from England that are like, Kansas City's actually amazing. Everyone's so nice here.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
Have you seen?
You think?
Have you seen
Freddie?
People that have come in here don't have ranch dressing in their countries.
Yes.
So like ranch dressing is all the rave right now.
Yeah.
And I think Hidden Valley or somebody came out with like a TSA sized
Oh, no way.
Hidden Valley ranch. I don't know if it was Hidden Valley, but came out with ranch that they could travel with their carry-ons. Like that's
I
awesome.
have not seen that. That's amazing. It'd have to be like under what, 3 ounces or something?
Something like that, yeah.
That is hilarious. That's awesome. America does some things great.
But yeah.
And ranch is one of them.
Yeah. I saw something and I'm going to butcher it, but it was like, all the news wants you to do is hate everything else, but if you go and actually experience it, like it's great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, one of my buddies, Patrick, he was out there for the Team Ecuador game at the downtown activation that they had, and he was like on all sorts of social media things, doing interviews and stuff, and it was so funny because I'm like, that is so exactly how that would go. If you're anyone that's just like wanting to have some fun, yeah, put away your phone. Don't turn off the TV. Turn off your computer. Go out there and just have some fun. Like the World Cup's only going to be here. Well, I mean, we are trying to pull to get the Women's World Cup here, and who knows how long that'll be? Like 4 years or 2 years?
Yeah.
I don't know when that is. 3 years? 2? I don't know.
It's 2 years. I think they're
Kind of like the Olympics, how they are alternating or
Yep.
whatever. But yeah, Kansas City, I've heard that they're pushing to get the women's, which would be equally as awesome because Kansas City also loves women's sports. You can see that with the current, and the Diamonds or something.
Yeah,
the soccer.
Casey Diamonds.
Yeah, I saw a girl wearing a Casey Diamond shirt.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just love sports, and
We need to do some Casey Diamonds content. That's what we need to do. Yeah.
We
We
should.
need to get a hat.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, we do. Let's go get one.
Yeah.
Because I have a nice current hat. I wore it in the podcast last week. I could get some more current gear too.
I have current gear.
But yeah, it's so cool. Just get out there and have some fun, man. The World Cup, they're here now. Don't waste your time. Go talk to some British people. Go talk to some people from the Netherlands. I've had the opportunity to go to the airport and just do a lot of different activations for work, and it's so cool because there's always just so many people from those places wearing those jerseys walking by, and you just get to, hang out, have some fun with them. It's been really cool. there's a lot of nice people from all this place getting to experience Kansas City, and we're doing a great job. So good job, everybody. Go have some fun. That's all I got. That's our honorable mentions.
That's it.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the fine people today, Brandon?
Yeah. Hey, happy 4th of July. Make sure that you have the same number of fingers after 4th of July that you did before. Be careful with the explosives.
Hey, man, fingers are optional.
Yeah, have a good time.
Everybody loves America. Everybody loves the Royals. And we got a 3-game series with Tampa Bay. What's after that?
Philly. Philly comes to
Philly
town.
comes to town. During the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't see so many shore bombs getting splashed.
That series is weird too, I think. I want to say it's a Sunday. I think it's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series, which is
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, because there's another game at Arrowhead on the 3rd.
You're right, baby.
No. Yeah, it is.
There's no game on Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Very
weird.
weird. So, yeah, stay tuned for that recap video of the Rays. I'm finally going to be back to make one of those. And then Brandon will be posting. Yeah. Thank you for covering, by the way. That was amazing.
I had fun.
They were very good.
Yeah. I needed, my last one, I needed to rant a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's funny. There was one comment from somebody that said, like, when we did our podcast kind of like update to see what all our numbers were and thanking the people for being here and kind of giving them the update of our LLC and everything, it was really cool because somebody commented and said, I get everything I need out of this. I get to hear the things I think about. It's the same things I'm thinking you guys say, and then the recap videos, it gives me everything I might have missed, and it's perfect if you just keep doing what you're doing. You guys will be fine. And it's funny because I got to experience that because I'm out there in Texas. I had no service. I had no Wi-Fi most of the time. But whenever you'd post something, I would just wait until that night. Go have your time in the bathroom like every other, man in the world does. You sit on the toilet for 30 minutes, and I would sit there and wait for the video to load. I'd finally watch a recap, and I'd get everything I needed. So it was nice to see that you did that, and I was up to date with our content because that was really cool. It was really satisfying seeing, everybody loves Rolls was posted, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't me, so what happened? So it was really cool. So good job. That's all I got, brother.
All right.
Are we doing
Look at him. Just look at him.
How does this make you feel?
I love mine.
I love mine too. All right, guys, that's all we got. Happy 4th of July. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Peace.